Oh fuck.
Yo, look at this fucking bullshit. What the fuck? Dude, flip!
What the fuck?
Let's get straight down to business. Hell Loose has got a lot of tanks, and not everybody knows how to call them out or can tell them apart. So I'm going to go through all the tanks in the game and show you what they look like. Starting out with America. America has two heavy tanks, the Sherman Jumbo 76 and the Sherman Jumbo 75. The Sherman Jumbo 76, also known as 76 or Sherman 76, don't call it a jumbo. Both American heavy tanks are jumbos. Just call it a heavy 76. It's best identified by being the only American tank in the game with a muzzle brake on its longer 76mm gun. America's Jumbo 75 is America's other heavy tank. It's best identified as being a lot lighter green than the other tanks. It's got a much more pronounced turret basket on the rear of the turret. It's got way more armor on the front of the turret. You can also see that on the front slope of the tank, it's got a lot more armor around the lower plate mantlet, around the front axle. America's medium tank, the Sherman A4M3, also known as the Sherman 75 or just a 75. It has a lot shorter gun than the 76. It's got a darker green camo than the Jumbo 75. It's also got less armor around the turret. The turret's a lot smaller and less beefy. Also, the front is a lot straighter all the way from the front bottom to the front top. It's got no bulge at the bottom. America's light tank, the Stuart, is a lot smaller. It doesn't look anything like the Sherman, so it's a lot easier to tell apart. Pretty much the entire tank is a distinguishing feature. America's recon tank, the M8 Greyhound, also just known as a Greyhound or just called a recon tank, is the only American tank in the game with wheels. It's got 6 wheels total. The entire tank is very distinguishable from the rest of the American tanks. Now on to the German tanks. Germany has two heavy tanks. Starting out, we have the Tiger 1, also just known as a Tiger or a German heavy. It's very boxy. It's got a flat top, very long gun. Germany's other heavy tank, the Panther, is a lot more distinguishable because it's got a lot more sloped armor than the other German tanks. German's medium tank, the Panzer IV, also known as a P4. Please call it a Panzer IV or a P4. Don't just call it a Panzer. Panzer is the German word for tank. If they're all Panzers, that will confuse some people. It's a lot smaller and stubbier than the other larger German tanks. Also very boxy. Germany's light tank, the Lux, the Lux, the Panzer II, the P2, whatever you want to call it. Very small, boxy. It's got that tiny little cannon up front, the 20mm auto cannon. Very distinctive sound. Germany's recon tank is the Puma. It's got 8 wheels. In fact, it's the only German tank with wheels and not tracks. It's very small. It's very elongated. It's got a big gun. Next up, we've got Russian tanks. The Russian heavy tank is the IS-1. It's easily distinguishable by its turret that looks way too big for its body. Russian's medium tank, the T-34, is easily distinguishable from the heavy because it looks like its turret is too small for its body, the exact inverse. The Russian light tank, the T-70, is easily distinguishable by its turret being offset to the left on top of its hull. Russia's recon tank, the BA-10, looks like a steampunk up-armored pickup truck with a turret in the bed, pointing its gun over the cab. Finally, we have the British tanks. The British have two heavy tanks. The first one is the Sherman Firefly. The Firefly is only available on the drill map right now. It is an American Sherman that has been upgraded by the British to have a British 17-pounder gun. The British Cromwell tank is very boxy. It's got a stubby short gun with a muzzle brake on it. The British light tank, the Tetrarch, looks a bit like an egg with a roller pin on the back. The British recon tank, the Dalmer, looks very close to the Tetrarch. It's also egg-shaped, except this egg doesn't have tracks, this egg has wheels. The other British heavy tank, the Churchill, can only be found on the LL main map, replacing the Sherman Firefly. It's a British-made heavy tank, and its very pronounced tracks on the sides make it easily distinguishable. This has been a spotter's guide on what all of the tanks in Hell Let Loose look like. Let me know what your favorite tank is down below. I'm working on an anti-tank guide that will tell you how to kill all these tanks in detail, so stay tuned for that. If you're looking for more organized play and having better squad mates, join the Devil's Brigade Discord in the description of this video. We're usually on evening to night times, Eastern Time, US. That's all for today. I'm Goblin, and I am standing in your kitchen.